Sit back, relax, as I tell you a tale of my gaming origins. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I got my first dose of the vaccine, and the day after I felt just so drained. It was unbelievable. I felt uncomfortable sitting down, standing up, just doing anything. It was so tough, but I'm alright now. That was... when was that? That was Thursday the 1st. It's now the 6th as I film the video. So, obviously I feel much better now. I had the AstraZeneca one. Again, other than the fatigue, nothing really. Everything was good. So, my gaming origins. Where did it begin? So, cast your mind back to the 1990s. And the Sega Mega Drive. Now, this was the first console I ever saw. One that I first ever came across. I remember my mum, this is the only memory I have of my mum playing video games, was her playing Tetris on the Mega Drive. And it was so funny because I was so drawn into it. Not that I really liked Tetris that much, but even at the time. But it was so great to see, and I remember seeing other games, obviously Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously Infamous and Streets of Rage and stuff like that. But the game that just really stuck to me, and was one that I fell in love with so much, was the original Golden Axe. Now, I'm pretty sure this was the first game in my entire life that I ever completed. I've completed this game so many times now I can't even tell you. It's such a breeze, it doesn't take me that long to complete, but it's still a joy to play. Because I always play it differently every time I play it, which for a game that doesn't have a lot to offer in the respect of like variety, like I always find a different way to play it, and it's so great. It's so amazing. One of the funny things is, like, I feel like every time I play it, I always manage to stay just that bit longer on the dragons when you manage to get onto them. So that's quite funny. But yeah, you know, other than Sonic and that, like, this was my biggest memory on the Mega Drive. So I played it, I enjoyed it, it was so great, I still love it to this day. I haven't played the other two that much, like I remember the second one, but I haven't like played it as much. But I picked up recently, as you see, my Games Room tour. And yeah, it's very good, you know, I really enjoy it, so definitely going to keep playing it. Always going to be my first real gaming memory. Moving on from that, we went... And from myself, I managed to get a Super Nintendo as my first proper console. But I didn't play a lot of it because the only games I had for it were Super Mario All-Stars and the Power Rangers game. Not the movie one, the other first one that came out on the Super Nintendo. And that was a real favourite game of mine, being a big Power Rangers fan. And I played Super Mario All-Stars. I never actually completed one of them. It's only been since probably, well, this year, I guess, that I completed the I've completed Super Mario's 1 and 2 now, which I'm really glad about. You know, the gaming history, so it seems wrong not to have completed it. So it got to a point, you know, it got to a stage where things were progressing. You know, I wanted something different, and I was getting kind of bored of playing the PS1. Excuse me, the Super Nintendo. That's what it is, the Super Nintendo. So I got kind of bored of playing that at one point. So I really wanted something different, and I remember going to a school fete, my primary school fete, and some guys were playing a game, and I went over and I was wondering what it was. And they were playing on the PlayStation 1, the original one. And oh dear, move the camera a bit. And I was really wondering, you know, oh, this is quite cool. Wonder what they're playing. And being a big WWE fan at the time, and they were playing the original SmackDown. And the game itself, I mean, it's one of my favourite games of all time. This is the reason why I wanted a PS1 in the first place. I remember playing this really well. When I saw it, I think some guy was playing as the Big Show, against Deborah, and that was really funny because it's like the smallest person, one of the smallest people you can play as in the game versus the biggest person you can play as in the game. And obviously, in comparison to the WWE games you have like in the future, like obviously this one, you know, you can lift, everyone can lift everybody and all that other stuff. You know, there were no proper physics in all that. And it was so great. You know, I think I played as Kane when I got to play at the School Fate, and boy did I love that. It was so amazing, so amazing. I had to get myself another copy as soon as I could. I still love it to this day. I love playing SmackDown 2 as well, but this one for me is the best for me. Like, just something I remember so well, and it's definitely synonymous with me and my life of gaming. But yeah, you know, when I picked up the PS4 in general, PS4? Blimey, what's wrong with me today? I'm a bit rusty, folks. One of the biggest things with getting my PS1 is it was so meaningful, because it was one of the last presents that I got before my mum's mum, my nan, died. So, you know, I got the PS1, and I remember getting some great things with it. One of which being Tekken 3. I hadn't played this other Tekkens up until this point, I'm pretty sure. So when I got Tekken 3, it was... I remember playing it for the first time, and it's like, oh, playing as Hwoarang and Eddie, oh, so great. This game, obviously, you know, as you guys know, this game is one of the most classic games you can play. It's so great, so unique. I love it so much. You know, I think Tekken is probably the peak of fighting games for me. Like, because I didn't grow up playing Street Fighter, I didn't grow up playing like Virtua Fighter or Dead or Alive. Really, Tekken was kind of the game for me. Even like Soul Blade and Soul Calibur, like I didn't really play them. I played Soul Blade, but Soul Calibur wasn't something I carried on with. So Tekken was probably the biggest fighting franchise for me, even more so than Mortal Kombat as well. But it was very important to me. The PS1, probably one of my favourite consoles ever. But we'll get onto that video another time. So yeah, and you know, got to the point where, you know, because I was loving the PS1 so much, I didn't want my Super Nintendo anymore. You know, I wasn't the kind of person that was going to yo-yo between consoles at that time. So one of my mum's best friends, who was one of our neighbours who lived in our area, she was interested in the Super Nintendo, and I remember a game coming out on the PS1 that I really wanted, and ironically it was $9.99 in my local Virtual Games. You know, if you guys know Virtual Games, you know, was quite a nice chain of retro slash modern gaming retail shops, which are really great. Shame they're gone, but trying to compete with CEX, I guess, is hard. So I did that, and I then sold my game for £10 to sold the Super Nintendo and these games that came with it and everything I had for it for a tenner, just so I could walk into the Virtual Games and pick up this Beast Wars on the PS1. Now, before everyone goes nuts, which they might already be doing, obviously back then, you know, in comparison to retro gaming now, like, you know, £10 for this. You know, I remember going into my Virtual Games and always seeing the PS1 games later. That's such a memory for me. And when I saw this, like, I'm a massive Beast Wars fan. I've got the whole set on the box set that came out in America, because I've got a Region 1 DVD player, like a multi-region DVD player, like I've shown you in my Games Room video. I can play any DVD from across the world. So the Beast Wars box that I've got, so I've got all of it, so all the beginning bit and the Transmetal stuff as well. So getting this, I was so excited, love it. But I was never really that good at it. Like, I loved the being able to transform at will and everything else. But like, I never got to a point where I unlocked characters like Rat Trap or Black Arachnia. You know, I just kind of never really got past 11. I remember cheating a lot, like finding some cheats, and I remember putting cheats in, and obviously you wouldn't get the characters through cheating, so it's like it was a bit annoying. But at the same time, you know, looking back at it now, you know, it's not by any means, it's not a great game. Like, you know, it's not great visually, it's not great, and you know, it's just it's okay, I guess. But at the time, it was something I would kill for. It was so meaningful to me. So I got it. It was great. But you know, this time around, I'm going to play it properly, do it by the book, unlock the characters, play as the new characters. Whether they're good or not, who knows? But we'll soon find that out. Then moving on to the PS2 era. Now, when I got a PS2, our family got a PS2. It was a really weird experience because I remember, because it was so hard, because you know, my mum busted her backside, you know, to take care of us all. And, you know, I'll never absolutely be able to repay her for all of that. And so I remember thinking, you know, I really wanted a PS2, and it was something that, you know, realistically, it hadn't been out. It had only been out for I think a couple of years or so at the time. Maybe I was wrong. I can't exactly remember what year or how old I was when we got it. But I remember going into a game with my mum and my twin brother, and I remember we were in there, and I remember looking at all the stuff, and it was like, oh, you know, look at the PS2, it's great. And I remember my mum turned around and said to me, "You pick up a couple of games. So I'm going to get this. You grab a couple of games." And it's like, why am I going to choose PS2 games? It's like, so we're getting a PS2, and it was like, what? We're getting a PS2? Now, at that point, I broke down in floods of tears. I mean, I was absolutely riddled with tears going down my face. Now, to other shoppers, this may look like as me, you know, a typical kid in a game shop not getting what they want, going, I want this, I want that.
Put that candy back, I'm not buying you all that mess. Oh, try me, bitch.
I was getting exactly what I wanted, you know, and because it was such a big thing at the time, you know, and it was such a huge thing because it was like, you know, we weren't in a position to always get the new games when they came out and all that other stuff. So getting the PS2 and was like, my mum was like, pick a couple of games. I mean, I literally was like the cat that got the cream. Because it was like, I couldn't believe that we were doing this. And so it was like, oh, I picked a couple of games. So I remember getting home and, you know, I picked up my games, which were Smackdown, Shut Your Mouth, and GTA Vice City. And I was just in shock because it was like, oh my god, a PS2! Oh my god! It was so great, and I remember it so well. And it was just like, you know, I never did many missions on this. I literally just messed around and did, you know, obviously you're a kid. I was a kid, you know, you do nothing. So I was just like, oh, whatever. And this was really cool as well. Like, I really enjoyed this. I played the hell out of these games because we had them. And it was just like, because the artwork, I remember this artwork for Vice City so well. Because I remember seeing it around a friend's and I was like, oh, I really want to get this. And getting the PS2 was so great, and I never really got a chance until now to really experience the library that the PS2 has to offer. And obviously, as you can see over my shoulder, you know, I've got all those PS2 games there, and at least 2 more shelves for the PS2 games. And my list is like nearly a whole A4 page full of games. So that was really cool for me at the time. And then it got to a point where I got the original Xbox. I played some games. Like I remember the year, one of the years for Christmas. I remember because my brother had an original Xbox. He didn't have a PS2, so I ended up with a PS2. He wanted the original Xbox, and I remember we both got Matrix Path of Neo, Battlefront 2, and Batman Begins. He got it on the Xbox. I got it on the PS2. And it was great. It was like, you know, it was really interesting. I loved the games. They were really great games. And not long after that is when I really was getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game. And it literally completely took over my life. You know, gaming became such a thing of the past. You know, it was such a thing. Like me, my twin brother, and our best friend from secondary school, like we all played it. After a couple of years, though, they kind of decided that that's not really what they want to do anymore. That was kind of like a little phase for them. So they pulled back away from it and carried on doing other things. Whereas I really carried on with it. And I loved it to pieces. And I literally forgot about gaming. You know, everything passed me by. You know, when I was in college, I remember hearing all about the Nintendo Wii. Because my first year of college is when the Nintendo Wii came out. And there's such a buzz of it, you know, so many people were talking about it, so many people wanted it. And at the time, I didn't really know what it was. You know, I knew it was a Nintendo console. But obviously, I didn't know it was the motion controls and all that other stuff. And it's like, you know, as time went on, you know, I didn't get that. I did get a GameCube. I got the Double Dash version, which was pretty cool. So I got that, and that was alright, but again, I didn't really play a lot, because other than like that Super Mario Sunshine and Pokemon Colosseum, I hadn't really played a lot of GameCube games either. So because of Yu-Gi-Oh, I was just not really into gaming that much. So when the 360 came along, like, I remember going and managing to get one, and I picked up like 99 Nights and some other games, and it was great. I kind of started to revive, my love for gaming started to really come back to the surface. But then I got rid of my Xbox at one point because I was just really wanting to keep with Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'm on my like third different 360 now since I did that, but obviously it's been over so many years. But the second time I got a 360 was when I started playing the COD games. Now, by this time, the COD games had already been, you know, there was a lot of them already out. So, I was playing them all, picking them all up. And then this time I did as well. But I mean, you know, I missed, again, it was just missing out on so many games and so many other different things. You know, the N64 passed me by. Other than Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap, nothing. No GoldenEye, no Super Mario 64, no Super Smash Bros, no Diddy Kong Racing, no Donkey Kong 64, no nothing. You know, and I missed out on so many good games and so many good series across all of these consoles. You know, never played the Bioshock series, Mass Effect, The Last of Us, Uncharted, Devil May Cry, Resident Evils, you know, the other Metal Gear Solid games, Tomb Raiders, all these other games that I wasn't really into, and I never really was into them. So, you know, as time kept moving on and moving on and moving on, I just didn't care for gaming. And I started to get to a point where I was just, you know, every like year or so I would start getting a bit nostalgic for something. So I'd buy it, and then like it got, I think it was like 2018, I want to say. 2018 I bought some stuff, like I bought PS1 again for like the first time. Oh, voice break. I got PS1 for the first time, and then I got for the first time in ages, rather. And I remember getting the Crash Bandicoots and the original Metal Gear Solid. At that time, that was the first time I'd ever completed the original Metal Gear Solid. So I remember absolutely crapping myself because of how obviously how it is, because it's a stealth game. It's very scary at that time, and you know, I completed it for the first time, and it was so cool. And I was really starting to get a feel for the games. I really started to feel, you know, it was getting somewhere. So I was buying more PS1 games as time went on, kind of the ones that I remember a lot. And then it got to like a time where I really wanted to go back to where it all began after like the Mega Drive, which was getting Pokemon Red boxed with a boxed Game Boy Color, and that's exactly what I did. You know, I think I paid £35 for my boxed Red. You know, the box is in great condition. It's got the insert, it's got the manual, it's got, you know, pretty much everything it needs in there, which was fantastic, and it was so cool. Then I was like, right, we're going to get red and yellow and blue, and we're going to get gold and silver and crystal, which is what we did. And then I decided, you know, oh, okay, well, I'm going to, this for Christmas, because I haven't played them before. Like, I remember playing a tiny bit on my friend's Game Boy Advance, but this was years and years ago, and I just didn't know what to do because I've never played Gen 3 before. So I bought Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald for Christmas for myself that year with a boxed Game Boy Advance. And then after that, I said to myself, you know, I'm going to buy Fire Red and Leaf Green, of course, which I was really interested about, because it's like obviously remakes of just the originals, but then it's like how do they portray it? You know, is it better? Is it something that's going to be more interesting? And then it got to a point where it got to, like, I think it was coming up to January 2019, and I remember watching a random thing on YouTube came up from Metal Jesus Rocks, and it came up, I think it was his Xbox buying guide he did with Kinsey Burke, and I remember watching it because I was thinking, oh, so I'm a bit nostalgic for the Xbox. So I got some games for Christmas for the original Xbox because I was nostalgic about it at the time. So I got that, and then it was like, oh my god, this is crazy. You know, this was I was starting to get really intrigued, and I started watching some of Jason's other videos, and it was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I think to myself, all this gaming has passed me by. You know, I'm getting to the stage where I'm feeling like I'm ready to retire from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I need to find something else to do. And it was like thinking, well, it's crazy, because all these games I've missed, like in the N64, like these classic games, these big games, you know, Super Mario 64, 3D platforming at its best at the time, you know, 3D revolutionising the gaming industry. And I missed it. I missed out on it. You know, Mario Kart itself, you know, I played Double Dash, but what about the originality of it? You know, and all that other stuff. And it was like, well, GoldenEye and all these other great games and everything. You know, all of these games that are so big and so amazing that people talk about all the time, even now, and it's like, well, I didn't play that game. So, after watching so many of Jason's videos, I decided that I was going to do it. I was going to go back to doing it. And I remember it got to about February, and I remember doing a really big purchase in the CEX in Basingstoke at the time, because I bought again my game. I bought an unboxed GameCube, purple one. I bought Fire Red. I bought Metal Gear Solid on the PS1 because I got rid of it after I completed it. And then I got Pokemon Colosseum, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and I got Pokemon Gale of Darkness, which at the time was £65, but I was on the CEX website yesterday, and it's gone up to £155 they sell it for now. And I think it's like, if you trade it in, you either get £100 cash, or like £116 trade, which, don't get me wrong, is tempting. You know, with shops opening in like 6 days' time, you think to yourself, oh, that'd be quite good. But then at the same time, it's like, but I don't want to get rid of it, because if the price is just going to keep going up. But I know that's Kex prices, and you know, some people don't necessarily agree with Kex prices, especially when it comes to retro games. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, I bought that. I bought those GameCube games. I bought PS1 game. I bought Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, I think I bought as well. And yeah, it was just like, I kept watching so many of Metal Jesus' videos and just looking at all of these stuff, the buying guides, the like the best games to look out for, hidden gems, stuff like that. So really, I suppose I owe my retro gaming that I do now to Metal Jesus. And you know, Jason, I really do appreciate, you know, all the videos you've made doing that. I mean, I know it's, you know, retro gaming is loved by everyone, but for me it was like, I didn't really have a lot of knowledge going into it. But like, playing the games now and turning it into a collection is what I want to do. I'm not going to be the kind of person that's going to go for like a whole collection of anything apart from the PS1 demos, because now I think about it, let me tell you about the PS1 demos, right? Because the PS1 demos were so important to me at the time, because when they came out, because I'd rather spend £10 on 10 demos and have such a variety of games to play and think, right, when I can, I'm going to buy these games. But the demos were so important, which is why that's probably the only thing in my collection that is going to be, you know, a whole collection of them all. But yeah, now I've broadened my horizons a lot. You know, I'm not giving up on games. I'm really pushing through and playing them. I'm so looking forward to playing these games that I've missed out on. I've only got 4 more games in my current playthrough left to go. I've got Ben 10 Protector of Earth for the Wii, which I'm going to be playing next, and then I've got Wanted on the PS3, Rise Son of Rome on Xbox, original Xbox One. This will be the first time playing my Xbox One since I got it, and Monkey King Hero is back on the PS4. So they're all quite short games. So, but then my new playthrough is going to be filled with so many big games, which I will put in a video for you guys to show you when I've got through completing what I'm completed so far. I think don't think I've missed anything out that I can think of in my gaming history. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This is just a little kind of talk about my gaming memories / origins. We all have a story to start somewhere. I've been watching Nerdy Geezer's gaming memories, and I've watched Danny's, which is otherwise known as Exploring the World of Video Games and Blu-rays, and I've watched his as well. And it's just nice to see, you know, people's origins, where they came from, what they remember from their childhood, etc. And you know, I'm glad I could share mine too. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe down below with notifications turned on for my latest videos, so watch out for those. I'm going to be uploading a lot since I'm now on my Easter holidays, because I work in education, so I'm on my Easter holidays now. So I'll be uploading a lot more. I'll have some prepared as often as I did before, and want to be as consistent as I can. I really do appreciate you guys subscribing. I'm past 50 now, which is a really great milestone, so thank you very much. I think I'm on like 53 now, so thank you to all 53 of my subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all your support through all this. It's been so nice to just do it. Like, originally I was kind of not as committed to it as I wanted to be, and like now, after reaching out to other YouTubers and getting support and working, you know, to really kind of get my channel up there, it's getting there now, and I really do appreciate it. Still got a long way to go from many big milestones, but you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, there's a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of work to put in. So thank you very much, guys. As usual, thank you for watching and subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing, and as always, take care of yourselves.